A scream pierces the fog-drenched night, swallowed by London's shadows. The glint of a diamond vanishes, and blood stains the silence. Who stole the Western Star? Who paid the ultimate price? Step into Hercule Poirot's world where every clue whispers danger, and the truth is a deadly game. London. 1925. The Savoy Hotel glows like a beacon of opulence, its chandeliers casting a golden haze over the elite. Jazz drifts through the air, mingling with the clink of champagne flutes and the murmur of secrets. Hercule Poirot, the diminutive Belgian detective with a mind sharper than a razor, steps into this glittering world. His stash is immaculate. His patent leather shoes gleam, but his eyes, those keen green eyes, miss nothing. Tonight, he's the guest of Lady Margaret Ashbourne, a widow whose elegance hides a flicker of fear. She's hosting an intimate dinner to showcase the Western Star, a diamond necklace, worth a king's ransom. Its stones, said to be cursed, have a grim history. Every owner has met misfortune, from bankruptcies to untimely deaths. Poirot, ever the skeptic, dismisses curses, but trusts his little gray cells to sense trouble brewing. The dining room is a stage, and the players are assembled. Sir Henry Caldwell, a financier with a booming laugh and shifty eyes, dominates the conversation. Clara Duval, a French actress with a sultry voice, toys with her wineglass, her smile too calculated. Dr. Elias Morrow, a reclusive scholar, sits quietly, his fingers tracing the edge of a book on ancient rituals. Lady Margaret, in a gown of midnight blue, wears the Western Star proudly, its diamonds sparkling like captured moonlight. Poirot notes her unease the way she touches the necklace, glances at the door as if expecting a ghost. The other guests include Mr. James Trent, a nervous jeweler who appraised the star, Miss Emily Ward, Lady Margaret's mousy companion, whose eyes dart between her employer and the guests. Dinner unfolds with forced gaiety, Sir Henry boasts. Of his latest deal, Clara flirts subtly, and Dr. Morrow mutters about the star's origins in a lost temple. Poirot listens, cataloging every word, every gesture. He notices Clara's lavender perfume, the smudge of cigar ash on Sir Henry's cuff, and the way Miss Emily's hands tremble when she pours water. Then, without warning, the lights go out. Darkness engulfs the room. A glass shatters, someone gasps, and a muffled thud echoes. When the lights flicker back on mere seconds later, Lady Margaret's hand clutches her throat. The Western Star is gone. But worse, Mr. Trent, the jeweler, slumps in his chair, a thin trickle of blood seeping from his temple. He's dead. Panic erupts. Sir Henry bellows accusations, Clara shrieks, and Miss Emily faints. Dr. Morrow stares at Trent's body, his face unreadable. Lady Margaret, pale as death, stammers the curse. It's real. Poirot, unruffled, steps forward. Mies, Amos, calm yourselves.
Ow.
No one leaves until we uncover the truth. His voice, soft yet commanding, silences the room. The guests sink into their seats, eyes darting suspiciously. Poirot kneels beside Trent, noting the wound a precise blow, not a fall. Murder, not accident. The necklace's theft was no coincidence. It's a thread in a darker tapestry. As the police are summoned, Poirot begins his subtle work. He spots a faint powder smudge on the carpet near Lady Margaret's chair, trace of lavender in the air near Clara. The waiter, a jittery lad named Tom, mumbles about a spilled tray during the blackout. Poirot's questions are gentle but piercing. Did Tom see anyone move? Did Clara leave her seat? Why does Sir Henry's cigar ash seem fresh? Each answer, each evasion is a puzzle piece. He examines Trent's body, finding a crumpled note in his pocket. Beware the star's shadow. The curse again or a killer's taunt. The guests are a gallery of motives. Sir Henry's finances are rumored to be crumbling. The star could save him. Clara's career is fading. Fortune could reignite it. Dr. Morrow's obsession with the necklace's history borders on mania. Miss Emily, so timid, might hide resentment under her meekness. Even Lady Margaret, grieving her late husband, could have staged the theft for insurance or to escape the curse's weight. Poirot's mind races, but he reveals nothing. He knows the killer and thief are likely still in the room, their facade cracking under his scrutiny. Outside, fog presses against the windows, mirroring the murk of the mystery. The police arrive, sealing the room, but Poirot insists on leading the inquiry. He paces, his hands clasped behind his back, muttering, "The little gray cells, they do not lie. This is no mere theft. There is a purpose, a shadow moving among us." The guests shift uneasily. Clara's smile falters. Sir Henry's bluster fades, and Dr. Morrow's eyes glint with something fear. Guilt. Lady Margaret clutches her handkerchief, her voice a whisper. "Find it, Monsieur Poirot. Find the truth." The chapter ends with Poirot at the window, staring into the night. The fog swirls, hiding secrets, but he thrives in such shadows. "The Western Star is more than a prize," he murmurs. "It is a lure, and someone has taken the bait. Who struck Trent down? Where is the necklace? Is the curse real, or is a human hand weaving this deadly web? Stick with us for the next chapter to see Poirot unravel the first threads of this chilling puzzle. If you're gripped, smash that like button, subscribe, and comment your theories below. The Savoy Hotel's dining room feels like a gilded cage, the air heavy with fear and secrets. The police have cordoned off the scene, their heavy boots echoing on the marble floor. But Hercule Poirot remains the quiet center of the storm. His small frame, immaculate in a tailored suit, belies the whirlwind of his mind. The Western Star, that cursed necklace of dazzling diamonds, is gone. Mr. James Trent, the jeweler who appraised it, lies dead, a thin line of blood marking his temple. The guest Lady Margaret Ashbourne, Sir Henry Caldwell, Clara Duval, Dr. Elias Morrow, and Miss Emily Ward sit rigid, their faces a gallery of unease. Poirot's green eyes sweep the room, catching every twitch, every glance. He knows the killer and thief are likely among them. The game of cat and mouse has begun. Poirot starts with the crime scene itself. His movements deliberate, almost theatrical. Kneels by Trent's body, now covered by a tablecloth at the police inspector's insistence. The wound, Poirot confirms, was no accident. Sharp, precise blow, likely from a small, heavy object. A candlestick? A paperweight? He scans the table, noting the silver candelabra, a crystal decanter, and a bronze statuette of a nymph. Any could be the weapon, but none bear obvious bloodstains. He pockets the crumpled note from Trent's hand. "Beware the star's shadow." The words linger, a riddle wrapped in menace. Is it a warning, a threat, or a distraction planted by the killer? The inspector, a gruff man named Hughes, grumbles about procedure, but Poirot waves him off with a polite smile. "Monsieur, the evidence speaks, but only if we listen." He turns to the carpet, where a smudge of white powder catches his eye near Lady Margaret's chair. It's faint, like talcum or chalk, and he scrapes a sample into a handkerchief. Nearby, the scent of lavender lingers, faint but distinct. Clara Duval, seated 2 chairs away, wears that very perfume Poirot noted it earlier, a floral note. That clings to her like a signature. He files this away, his mind a ledger of details. Poirot begins questioning the guests, his tone gentle but probing like a surgeon's scalpel. Lady Margaret, her face pale against her midnight blue gown, clutches her handkerchief. "I felt a tug at my neck during the blackout," she says, her voice trembling. Just a moment, then nothing. Poirot nods, noting her delicate fingers, unmarred by struggle. Could she have slipped the necklace off herself? Her late husband's debts, whispered about in society, might make the star's insurance tempting. Escape, but murder? Poirot's eyes narrow. "Madame, did you hear anything? A footstep, perhaps?" She shakes her head, but her gaze flickers to Sir Henry. Sir Henry Caldwell, red-faced and blustering, insists he saw nothing. Damned lights went out, and I was halfway through my soup. His cigar ash, fresh on his cuff, puzzles Poirot. The blackout lasted seconds. When did he light a cigar? Poirot asks about his business, and Sir Henry bristles. "My finances are solid, if that's what you're implying." But Poirot knows rumors of his failing investments. The star's value. could erase his debts. And his seat next to Trent gave him opportunity to strike. Poirot smiles blandly. Of course, monsieur. Merely a detail. Clara Duval, the French actress, is a study in composure. Her dark eyes meet Poirot's without flinching, her lavender scent wafting as she leans forward. A startled Nadarelma. She purrs. I reached for my glass and knocked it over. Poirot glances at her place setting. No spilled wine, no damp tablecloth. A lie, then. Her career, fading despite her charm, might drive her to theft. Her agility honed on the stage could make her swift in darkness. He asks about her movements, and she laughs lightly. Monsieur Poirot, I am no thief. But her fingers toyed with a bracelet, a nervous tick. Dr. Elias Morrow, the scholar, is less forthcoming. His gaunt face is shadowed, his eyes fixed on his book, a treatise on ancient curses. The Western Star was taken from a temple, he mutters. Its theft angered the gods. Poirot raises an eyebrow. And do these gods wield candlesticks, doctor? Morrow flinches, his hands clenching. His obsession with the star's history is clear, but is it academic or personal? His seat, across from Trent, gave him a clear line to strike, and his quiet demeanor could mask a fanatic's zeal. Poirot notes his ink-stained fingers, a detail to revisit. Miss Emily Ward, Lady Margaret's companion, is a surprise. Her mousy appearance, plain dress, pinned-up hair hides a sharp tongue. Was helping Lady Margaret with her shawl. She snaps, her eyes darting. Poirot recalls her trembling hands during dinner, her quick glances at Trent. Did she resent her employer's wealth? Or was she protecting Lady Margaret herself? Her proximity to the necklace during the blackout makes her a suspect, but her frail frame seems unlikely to deliver a fatal blow. Still, Poirot knows appearances deceive. The waiter Tom is next. A lanky youth, he stammers about a spilled tray during the blackout. I tripped, sir, near the door. Poirot inspects the Florno wine stains, but a faint scuff mark near the service entrance. Did Tom slip out with the necklace? Or was he a distraction paid to fumble? His nervousness feels genuine, but Poirot trusts no one yet. Asks Tom to describe the tray's contents, and the boy hesitates, a sign of confusion or guilt. Poirot steps back, his mind weaving connections. The powder, the lavender, the ash, the note teach is a thread, but the pattern eludes him. He knows the blackout was planned. The hotel's fuses, he learns from Hughes, were tampered with. Someone knew the room, the timing, the prize, but Trent's murder complicates the theft. Was he a witness, silence foreseeing too much? Was he the target, the necklace a diversion? The note's warning, beware the star's shadow, hints at a deeper motive. Perhaps tied to the curse Morrow rambles about. Poirot dismisses superstition, but not symbolism. Shadows hide truths. The guests grow restless, their facades cracking. Sir Henry snaps at Clara, who retorts with icy venom. Lady Margaret weeps softly, Miss Emily hovering like a shadow. Dr. Morrow mutters to himself, his book now closed. Poirot watches, letting their nerves fray. He knows pressure reveals guilt. Hugh's impatient, wants to search the guests, but Poirot intervenes. Not yet, Inspector. The truth is here, in their words, their eyes. Request the rooms. Blueprints, suspecting a hidden exit or panel. The Savoy, old and grand, holds secrets in its walls, as the fog thickens outside. Poirot pauses by the window, his reflection sharp against the glass. The little gray cells hum, sorting lies from half-truths. He recalls a detail. Trent's watch stopped at 8:47, the exact moment of the blackout. A clue to the killer's timing, or a deliberate misdirection? It's the star's curse, whether real or fabricated, looms over the room, a specter of vengeance. Poirot turns, his mustache twitching. Mise Amos, he says softly. The shadow moves. Closer, but Poirot sees all. The chapter closes with a chill in the air, the guests locked in their gilded prison. Lady Margaret's eyes meet Poirot's, pleading. Sir Henry's bluster fades to a scowl. Clara's smile is a mask. Dr. Morrow's hands tremble, and Miss Emily's gaze is unreadable. The police guard the doors, but the real trap is Poirot's mind, closing around the truth. What did Trent know? Where is the Western Star? Is the killer planning another move? Stay tuned for the next chapter, where Poirot digs deeper into the guests' pasts, uncovering secrets that tighten the noose. If you're hooked, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your guesses in the comments. The dining room of the Savoy Hotel is a pressure cooker, its opulent walls closing in on the trapped guests. The fog outside mirrors the haze of suspicion within, as Hercule Poirot, with his piercing green eyes and immaculate mustache, orchestrates the unraveling of a deadly mystery. The Western Star, a diamond necklace steeped in a cursed legacy, has vanished during a fleeting blackout. Worse, Mr. James Trent, the jeweler who appraised it, lies dead, his temple crushed by a precise blow. Lady Margaret Ashbourne, Sir Henry Caldwell, Clara Duval, Dr. Elias Morrow, Miss Emily Ward, and even the nervous waiter Tom are suspects in Poirot's meticulous gaze. Each harbors secrets, and Poirot knows the key to the crime lies not just in the present, but in their shadowed pasts. As the police stand guard, Poirot begins to dig, his little gray cells weaving a net to catch a killer. Poirot's first move is to request privacy for his inquiries, persuading Inspector Hughes to let him question the guests one by one in a small parlor adjacent to the dining room. The parlor, with its velvet drapes and flickering gas lamps, feels intimate yet oppressive, perfect for peeling back lies. Poirot sits at a mahogany table, a notebook open, his fountain pen poised. His method is simple. Ask the right question. Watch the eyes. Listen to the silences. He starts with Lady Margaret, the evening's hostess, whose composure is fraying like fine silk. Her midnight blue gown shimmers, but her hands tremble as she smooths her handkerchief. "Monsieur Poirot," she begins, her voice soft, "I swear I know nothing of this horror." Poirot nods, his smile encouraging. "Madame, tell me of the Western Star. How came it to you?" Lady Margaret hesitates, her eyes distant. "The necklace," she explains, "was a gift from her late husband, Lord Ashbourne, who purchased it at auction 5 years ago. Its history fascinated him, a relic from an Indian temple, stolen by a British colonel in the 19th century, its owners plagued by misfortune. Lord Ashbourne laughed at the curse, but his death in a hunting accident soon after left Margaret wary. I wore it tonight to honor him," she says, tears welling. "But now, Mr. Trent dead. It's the curse." Poirot leans forward. "Or perhaps, Madame, a human hand?" He asks about her guests, probing for grudges. She admits Sir Henry once proposed a risky investment. She declined, and Clara Duval, a friend from her theater days, had borrowed money she never repaid. "Dr. Morrow," she says, "wrote to her months ago, requesting to study the star's history." Poirot notes her reluctance to speak of Miss Emily, her companion. "She is loyal," Margaret says curtly, but her fingers twist the handkerchief. A secret there, Poirot thinks. Next is Sir Henry Caldwell, whose bluster fills the parlor like cigar smoke. His florid face is damp with sweat, his tie askew. "This is outrageous, Poirot. I'm a man of means, not a thief." Poirot raises an eyebrow, recalling the ash on Sir Henry's cuff during the blackout. "Monsieur, your cigar win? Did you light it?" Sir Henry falters, claiming he smoked before dinner, but Poirot knows the ash was fresh. He shifts tactics, asking about Trent. Sir Henry scoffs. "The jeweler? A nobody. I barely noticed him." But Poirot presses, learning Sir Henry had consulted Trent about selling family heirlooms to cover debts. "Business matters," Sir Henry snaps. But his eyes avoid Poirot's. Poirot asks about the blackout, and Sir Henry claims he stayed seated, groping for his glass. Yet Poirot recalls his seat next to Trent close enough to strike. And those debts, whispered about in London's clubs, make the star a tempting prize. Sir Henry storms out, but Poirot's pen scratches a note. Motive greed. Clara Duval glides into the parlor, her lavender perfume announcing her before she speaks. Her dark hair is swept up, her smile a weapon. "Monsieur Poirot, You flatter me with this attention, she purrs, but her eyes are wary. Poirot compliments her, poised, disarming her, then asks about her movements during the blackout. I reached for my wine and spilled it, she says, as she did before, but Poirot points out the dry tablecloth. Her laugh is brittle. Perhaps I caught it in time. He shifts to her past, knowing her acting career is waning, she admits. To financial strain, but insists she's resourceful. Poirot recalls Lady Margaret's mention of Elan. Did Clara resent her old friend's wealth? He asks about Trent, and Clara's smile fades. He appraised my jewels once. A cold man. Poirot senses a lie, but lets it pass, noting her agility. Her proximity to Lady Margaret during the blackout, and that lavender scent near the powder. Smudge. As she leaves, her bracelet catches the light, a costly piece for a struggling actress. Dr. Elias Morrow is a contrast, his gaunt frame hunched as if carrying a weight. His book on curses lies before him, its pages dog-eared. The Western. Star is no mere jewel, he says, his voice low. It was sacred, stolen, defiled. Poirot listens, intrigued by his fervor. Morrow claims he attended the dinner to study the necklace, but Poirot wonders if his obsession runs deeper. He asks about the blackout, and Morrow says he froze. Clutching his book, yet his ink-stained fingers suggest nervous movement. Poirot probes his past, learning Morrow was disgraced at Oxford for unorthodox research into occult artifacts. Did he seek the star to redeem his name, more to fulfill a darker purpose? Morrow's eyes glint when Poirot mentions Trent's note. Beware the star's shadow, a warning Morrow mutters from the past. But Poirot's pen pauses. Does Morrow believe the curse, or is he using it as a shield? Miss Emily Ward, the last guest, is a puzzle. Her plain dress and pinned hair scream insignificance, but her sharp eyes betray a keen mind. I was at Lady Margaret's side, she says, her voice clipped. Poirot asks about her duties, learning she manages Margaret's correspondence and finances, a trusted role, he muses, and she stiffens. He asks about Trent, and she claims she barely knew him, but her hands clench. Poirot recalls her trembling during dinner, her glances at Trent. Did she fear him or hate him? He asks about the blackout, and she insists she helped Margaret with her shawl. But Poirot notes her seat was close enough to reach the necklace. Her loyalty to Margaret seems absolute, but Poirot senses resentment. A companion's life is one of service, not splendor. As she leaves, he writes, Hidden Depths. Poirot returns to the dining room, where the guests sit under Hughes's watchful eye. The waiter, Tom, hovers near the service door, his face pale. Poirot questions him again, noting his stammer worsens when asked about the tray he spilled. Tom admits he owes money to a bookmaker, a motive for theft, but his fear seems genuine. Poirot inspects the service door, finding a scuff mark and a loose hinge, a possible escape route. He requests the hotel's staff records, suspecting Tom's role may be more than clumsiness. The physical clues nag at Poirot: the powder smudge, the lavender scent, the ash, the note. Trent stopped watch at 8:47. He examines the fuse box, confirming sabotage, a wire deliberately cut. The blackout was no accident, planned to the second. But why kill Trent? Poirot theorizes. Trent saw the thief or knew something dangerous. The note suggests a connection to the star's history, perhaps a grudge from its colonial theft. Poirot recalls Morrow's tale of the temple. Could a descendant seek vengeance, or is the curse a convenient mask for greed? As midnight nears, the guests' nerves fray. Sir Henry argues with Hughes, Clara whispers to Morrow, and Lady Margaret stares at Trent's covered body. Miss Emily hovers, her eyes on Poirot. He paces his mind, a kaleidoscope of motives. Sir Henry's debts, Clara's ambition, Morrow's obsession. Emily's resentment, Margaret's desperation, Tom's fear. The star's theft and Trent's murder are intertwined, but the pattern is incomplete. Poirot pauses by the nymph statuette, its bronze surface smooth, too smooth, freshly wiped. He lifts it, feeling its weight. A possible weapon, but no blood. Yet the fog outside thickens, a shroud over London. Poirot stands by the window, his reflection a silhouette of resolve. The past speaks, he murmurs. and the shadow listens. He turns, catching Clara's glance, Morrow's flinch, Emily's stare. The killer is here, their masks slipping. What did Trent know? Where is the star? Is another strike coming? The net tightens, but danger looms. Stay with us for the next chapter, where Poirot uncovers a hidden link that changes everything. Like, subscribe, and comment your theories below. The Savoy Hotel's dining room is a crucible of tension, its gilded elegance mocked by the grim reality within. The Western Star, a diamond necklace cursed by its bloody past, has vanished in a fleeting blackout. Mr. James Trent, the jeweler, who appraised it, lies dead, his temple crushed by a calculated blow. Hercule Poirot, the diminutive Belgian detective with a mind like a steel trap, stands amid the chaos, his green eyes scanning the faces of the suspects. Lady Margaret Ashbourne, Sir Henry Caldwell, Clara Duval, Dr. Elias Morrow, Miss Emily Ward, and the nervous waiter Tom. Each is a puzzle piece, their secrets locked in their pasts and their lies. As the fog blankets London outside, Poirot senses a break through a hidden thread connecting the theft and murder. His little gray cells hum, and the hunt intensifies. Poirot begins the night's work with a new focus, the physical clues that whisper truths the guests conceal. He returns to the dining room, where Inspector Hughes and his constables guard. The exits, their faces etched with impatience. The guests sit in uneasy silence, their eyes darting between Poirot and the covered form of Trent's body. Poirot ignores their stares, kneeling once more by the powder smudge near Lady Margaret's chair. The faint white dust, like talcum or chalk, is barely visible under the chandelier's glow. Scrapes a sample into a fresh handkerchief, noting its proximity to where the Western Star last sparkled. Could it be makeup, spilled in the chaos? Or something more deliberate, like a thief's misstep? He recalls Clara Duval's lavender perfume detected nearby, and wonders if the two clues point to her ore, a clever frame. Next, Poirot examines the bronze nymph statuette on the table, suspecting it as the murder weapon. Its weight is perfect for a fatal blow, but its surface is pristine, wiped clean. He runs a finger along its base, finding a faint stickiness residue of a cloth. He asks Hughes to test it for blood traces, though he doubts the killer left such an obvious mark. The candelabra and crystal decanter, other potential weapons, are equally clean, but Poirot's mind lingers on the statuette. Its position, slightly askew, suggests it was moved during the blackout. By whom? He glances at Sir Henry, whose seat was closest, his cigar ash still a nagging detail. The ash, fresh on his cuff, contradicts his claim of smoking before dinner. Did he light a cigar in the dark? Or is the ash from another source? Poirot's attention shifts to Trent's stopped watch, frozen at 8:47, the exact moment of the blackout. He borrows a constable's magnifying glass, inspecting the watch's face. A hairline crack on the crystal suggests force, as if Trent's wrist struck. Something or was struck. Did he struggle with his killer? Poirot re-examines the crumpled note from Trent's pocket. Beware the star's shadow. The handwriting is hurried, the ink smudged, as if written in haste. He compares it to the guests' signatures, requested earlier for formalities. None match perfectly, but Dr. Moreau's angular script is eerily similar. Poirot files this away, his suspicion of the scholar's obsession deepening. With physical clues catalogued, Poirot turns to the hotel itself, suspecting it holds secrets beyond the dining room. He requests the Savoy's blueprints from the manager, a flustered man named Mr. Grayson, who arrives clutching rolled parchment. The blueprints reveal a warren of service corridors behind the dining room, including the door where Tom the waiter claimed to spill his tray. Poirot inspects the door again, its loose hinge and scuff mark hinting at recent use. He steps into the corridor, a dim passage smelling of polish and grease. A discarded matchstick lies near the threshold, its tip charred. Poirot pockets it, noting its brand expensive, unlike the cheap ones a waiter might carry. Sir Henry's cigars, perhaps? Or Clara's penchant for dramatic gestures? The corridor leads to a staff staircase, which descends to the kitchens and ascends to guest rooms. Poirot climbs, his steps silent, testing a theory. Could the thief have fled with the star during the blackout? The timing mere seconds seems impossible, but a practiced hand might manage it. At the top, he finds a window overlooking the fog-shrouded Thames, its latch undone. A draft chills his neck, and he imagines a figure slipping out, necklace in hand. But Trent's murder complicates this escape. Why kill if the theft was clean? Poirot descends, his mind wrestling with motives. Back in the dining room, Poirot requests a private word with Tom, whose pallor has worsened. In the parlor, Tom fidgets, his eyes on the floor. "I didn't see nothin', sir," he mumbles, but Poirot's gentle questions unravel him. Admits to gambling debts owing a bookmaker named Reggie Cox a hefty sum. "He threatened me legs," Tom whispers. Poirot asks about the tray, and Tom's story shifts. He now claims he tripped before the blackout, not during.
Ow.
Poirot presses, "Did someone pay you, Tom? To spill that tray, perhaps?" Tom shakes his head, but his trembling betrays him. Poirot lets him go, noting his fear. A pawn, perhaps, but whose? Poirot's next move is to cross-reference the guests' pasts, using Hughes's police contacts. He sends a constable to telegraph Scotland Yard, requesting records on Lady Margaret, Sir Henry, Clara Morrow, and Emily. While waiting, he observes the guests, their facades crumbling. Lady Margaret weeps quietly, Miss Emily at her side, but Poirot catches Emily's fleeting scowl, resentment, or guilt. Sir Henry paces, muttering about his reputation, while Clara sips water, her composure a mask. Dr. Morrow clutches his book, his lips moving silently, as if reciting a prayer, a curse. The telegraph reply arrives near dawn, its contents a goldmine. Lady Margaret's husband, Lord Ashbourne, died under suspicious circumstances. The hunting accident involved a misfired rifle, never fully explained. Sir Henry's financial ruin is confirmed. His company teeters on bankruptcy, his creditors circling. Clara Duval has a criminal past, a dismissed charge of theft in Paris. Involving a sapphire brooch, Dr. Moreau's disgrace at Oxford stemmed from stealing artifacts, though he claimed it was research. Miss Emily Ward, surprisingly, is no record, but her former employer, a dowager in Bath, dismissed her for insubordination. Poirot's pen scratches furiously, each revelation a thread in the tapestry. He returns to the note's phrase, "Beware the star's shadow." Dr. Moreau's temple story resurfaces. The star was stolen from a shrine in Rajasthan, its priests vowing vengeance. Could Morrow, with his occult leanings, believe himself an agent of that curse? Or is the note a plant meant to mislead? Poirot recalls Trent's role as appraiser. Did he uncover a fake star, threatening someone's scheme? Or did he know guest's secret, making him a target? The powder smudge, Poirot learns from Hughes, is talcum, common in makeup or gloves. Clara's vanity case, glimpsed earlier, holds such powder, but so might Emily's modest kit. Poirot tests a bold move. He gathers the guests out, announcing a search of their belongings approved by Hughes. Protests erupts. Sir Henry roars. Clara laughs coldly, but Poirot watches their reactions. Lady Margaret consents first, her bag revealing only a compact and letters from her late husband. Sir Henry's wallet holds IOUs, but no star. Clara's purse yields the vanity case, its talcum matching the smudge, but no necklace. Morrow's satchel contains only his book and a vial of ink, its cap, loose sex planing his stained fingers. Emily's plain bag holds a locket with a man's photo, unidentified. No star, no weapon, but Poirot's announcement flushes out fear. Clara's smile tightens. Morrow's hands shake, Emily's eyes narrow, as the search ends. Poirot notices a new clue. A thread of blue silk on the service door's hinge, matching. Lady Margaret's gown? Did she slip out, or was it planted? He confronts her privately, and she gasps, denying movement. "I was frozen, monsieur." Poirot believes her fear, but not her innocence. The thread, the talcum, the ash, the matchstick, the note teach points to a web of deception, but the center eludes him. Paces muttering, "The shadow is not one, but many." The killer and thief may be separate, their motives converging on the star. Dawn breaks, the fog thinning outside. Poirot stands by the window, his reflection sharp. "The past is the key," he whispers, "but the present holds the blade." The guests are fraying. Sir Henry snaps at Clara, who retorts venomously. Morrow mutters about gods. Emily watches, all silent. Lady Margaret's eyes plead with Poirot, but he sees only questions. Where is the star? Why did Trent die? Is the curse real? Or a killer's mask? As the net tightens, but the shadow moves faster. Stay tuned for the next chapter, where Poirot's trap springs and a guest breaks. Like, subscribe, and drop your theories in the comments. The Savoy Hotel's dining room is a stage for a deadly drama, its grandeur tarnished by the specter of murder and theft. The Western Star, a diamond necklace cursed by its violent history, has vanished in a meticulously planned blackout. Mr. James Trent, the jeweler who appraised it, lies dead, his temple crushed by a precise blow. Hercule Poirot, the Belgian detective, with a mind sharper than a diamond's edge, stands at the heart of the mystery, his green eyes dissecting the suspects. Lady Margaret Ashbourne, Sir Henry Caldwell, Clara Duval, Dr. Elias Morrow, Miss Emily Ward, and the jittery waiter Tom. The fog outside thins as dawn creeps over London, but the haze of deceit within thickens. Poirot's little gray cells have woven a net of loose talcum powder. Lavender scent, cigar ash, a blue silk thread, a charred matchstick, and a cryptic note. Beware the star's shadow. How he sets a trap to flush out the guilty. Knowing one guest is on the verge of breaking, Poirot begins with a calculated gamble. Gathering the guests in the dining room, under the watchful eyes of Inspector Hughes and his constables. The air is heavy, the guests' faces drawn from a sleepless night. Lady Margaret clutches her handkerchief, her eyes red-rimmed. Sir Henry's bluster has faded to a scowl, his tie askew. Clara Duval's composure is a brittle mask, her lavender perfume faint but unmistakable. Dr. Morrow grips his book on curses, his gaunt face unreadable. Miss Emily Ward, ever the shadow, hovers near her employer, her sharp eyes darting. Tom lingers by the service door, his hands trembling. Poirot steps forward, his voice soft but commanding. Mies Amos, the truth hides among us, but it cannot hide forever. I have found something intriguing. He pauses, letting the words sink in, watching their reactions. He produces a small evidence bag, borrowed from Hughes, and holds it aloft. Inside glints a single diamond, its facets catching the chandelier's light. Gasps ripple through the room. Lady Margaret's hand flies to her throat. Sir Henry's jaw drops. Clara's smile freezes. A stone from the Western Star, Poirot announces, his tone grave. Found in this very room. It's a lie-a-glass bead from the hotel's decor, but the guests don't know that. Poirot's trap is psychological, designed to provoke. Whoever lost this, he continues, made a careless mistake. And Poirot does not believe in carelessness. He scans their faces. Morrow's eyes narrow. Emily's hands clench. Tom's face drains of color. The net tightens. Poirot turns to the clues, weaving them into his narrative to unsettle the guilty. He mentions the talcum powder near Lady Margaret's chair, now confirmed as cosmetic, common in makeup or gloves. Clara's vanity case, he notes, contains such powder, but so might others. Clara laughs lightly, but her fingers toy with her bracelet. He speaks of the lavender scent, detected near the powder, and Clara's smile falters. She knows he's circling her. The blue silk thread on the service door's hinge, matching Lady Margaret's gown, draws a gasp from her. I never moved, she protests, but Poirot's gentle smile reveals nothing. The charred matchstick, he adds, is a brand favored by gentlemen like Sir Henry, whose cigar ash remains a puzzle. Sir Henry sputters. I smoked hours ago, but Poirot's raised eyebrow silences him. Finally, he brandishes Trent's note, beware the star's shadow, and watches Dr. Morrow flinch. His ink-stained fingers twitching. Poirot's trap deepens as he announces a second search, this time of the guests' persons, approved by Hughes. Protests erupts. Sir Henry roars. Clara calls it vulgar. Morrow mutters about desecration, but Poirot insists, knowing fear will crack someone's facade. The constables begin, starting with Lady Margaret, whose trembling hands yield only a locket and keys. Sir Henry's pockets reveal a monogrammed lighter and more IOUs. But no star. Clara submits with a theatrical sigh, her silk gloves hiding nothing but her bracelet, which Poirot notes is oddly heavy. Morrow's coat holds only a pen and a scrap of paper with cryptic symbols, temple runes. Perhaps Emily's plain frock conceals a small notebook, its pages filled with numbers accounts or something else. Tom, searched last, produces only a crumpled betting slip, but his shaking hands betray terror. As the search ends, Poirot notices a shift. Miss Emily's composure cracks. She snaps at a constable, her voice sharp, then catches herself, retreating. To Lady Margaret's side, Poirot files this away, suspecting her loyalty hides a deeper motive. He shifts tactics, requesting Hughes to question the hotel staff about Tom's movements before the blackout. The waiter's gambling debts owed to Reggie Cox make him a potential pawn, but Poirot wonders if a guest manipulated him. He inspects the service corridor again, finding a faint scuff on the staircase too small for a man's shoe, perhaps a woman's heel. Clara's elegance or Emily's practicality comes to mind. Poirot's mind returns to Trent's murder, the core of the mystery. The stopped watch at 8:47 suggests a struggle, but no defensive wounds mark Trent's hands. Was he struck unaware, trusting his killer? The bronze nymph statuette, Poirot's suspected weapon, remains clean, but its stickiness hints at a wiped surface. He tests a theory, asking Hughes to check the dining room's fireplace for ashnot cigar ash, but cloth, perhaps a bloodied rag burned to hide evidence. Hughes grumbles but complies, and Poirot's hunch pays off. A constable finds charred silk in the grate, blue like Lady Margaret's gown. Another plant? Or her guilt? The telegraph from Scotland Yard received earlier fuels Poirot's suspicions. Lady Margaret's husband's accident involved a rifle owned by Sir Henry. A hunting companion coincidence or conspiracy? Paris theft charge involved a brooch owned by a diplomat linked to Lord Ashbourne. Did she know Lady Margaret then? Morrow's stolen artifacts at Oxford included a dagger from Rajasthan. Near the Star's Temple does he seek retribution? Emily's dismissal for insubordination hints at defiance, perhaps resentment of her servile role. Poirot weaves these threads, sensing a convergence. The Star's colonial theft, Trent's knowledge, and a killer's motive. He confronts Dr. Moreau privately, testing his reaction to the note's handwriting. "The shadow, Doctor," Poirot says softly. "Is it divine or human?" Poirot's eyes blaze. "The Star's theft cursed us all," he hisses, but denies writing the note. His fervor borders on madness, but Poirot wonders if it's a performance. He tries Clara next, mentioning the talcum and lavender. "You accuse me, monsieur?" she asks, her voice icy. "I observe, mademoiselle." Her bracelet, he notes, has a hidden clasp room for a small gem. She laughs it off, but her eyes flicker. The breakthrough comes unexpectedly. Hughes reports a witness. A kitchen maid saw Tom near the fuse box. Before dinner, speaking to a woman in a dark cloak. Tom, recalled, crumbles under Poirot's gaze. "You paid me," he sobs, "to cut the fuse. I didn't know about no murder." He describes the woman's lender, veiled, with a French accent. Clara, or another, disguised. Poirot lets Tom stew, knowing he's a tool, not the mastermind. The woman's identity is the key. As noon approaches, the guests are at breaking point. Sir Henry snaps at Morrow, who mutters about vengeance. Lady Margaret weeps, Emily's hand on her shoulder, but Poirot catches Emily slip a note into her sleeve. He moves swiftly, requesting Hughes to detain her for questioning. Emily's face pales, her sharp tongue silent. Poirot's trap has sprung, but the Star and the killer remain elusive. He stands by the window, the Thames gleaming below. "The shadow splits," he murmurs, "but the truth unites." Is Emily the key? Or is another guest poised to strike? Stay tuned for the next chapter, where Poirot's net closes and a shocking truth emerges. subscribe, and share your theories in the comments. The Savoy Hotel's dining room is a gilded prison, its opulence mocked by the weight of murder and deceit. The Western Star, a diamond necklace cursed by its blood-soaked past, has vanished during a calculated blackout. Mr. James Trent, the jeweler who appraised it, lies dead, his temple crushed by a precise blow. Hercule Poirot, the Belgian detective with a mind like a finely tuned machine, stands amid the suspects: Lady Margaret Ashbourne, Sir Henry Caldwell, Clara Duval, Dr. Elias Morrow, Miss Emily Ward, and the trembling waiter, Tom, his green eyes, piercing their facades.
Alice.
Pile up. Talcum powder, lavender scent, cigar ash, a blue silk thread, a charred matchstick, a cryptic note. And now a witness, implicating a mysterious woman with a French accent. Miss Emily's slip of a note has triggered Poirot's trap, and as noon bathes London in pale light, a mask begins to slip, revealing a glimpse of the truth. But the killer and the star remain just out of reach, and danger looms closer. Poirot wastes no time, directing Inspector Hughes to isolate Miss Emily Ward in the parlor for questioning. The other guests, confined to the dining room, exchange wary glances, their nerves frayed after a sleepless night. Lady Margaret's face is a mask of grief, her handkerchief sodden. Sir Henry's bluster has collapsed into sullen silence, his fingers drumming the table. Clara Duval sips water, her composure a brittle veneer, her lavender scent lingering like a ghost. Dr. Elias Morrow clutches his book on curses, his lips moving in silent recitation. Tom hovers near the service door, his confession about sabotaging, the fuse box weighing on him. Poirot's little gray cells hum, sorting the chaos of motives and clues. Emily's note, glimpsed in her sleeve, is the key to this moment, but he knows the web is vast, and one tug could unravel, tighten the trap. In the parlor, Millie sits rigid, her plain dress and pinned hair accentuating her sharpness. Her eyes, usually darting, are fixed on Poirot, defiant, yet fearful. He sits opposite, his notebook open, his fountain pen poised. "Mademoiselle Ward," he begins, his voice soft, "you are loyal to Lady Margaret, oui? Yet you hide something. The note, show it to me." Emily's lips tighten, but under Poirot's unrelenting gaze, she relents, slipping a folded paper from her sleeve. Poirot unfolds it, revealing a scrawl, "Meet me at midnight, T." The initial matches Trent's, but the handwriting is unfamiliar. Not the angular script of the "Beware the Star's" shadow note. Poirot's mind races. Did Trent summon Emily? Or is this a forgery? "Explain, mademoiselle," he says, his tone gentle but firm. Emily's composure cracks, her voice trembling.
Ow.
"Mr. Trent gave it to me yesterday," she says. "He had information about the star, something dangerous. I was to meet him after the dinner, but," she falters, tears welling. Poirot leans forward, noting her fear is genuine, but her story incomplete. "And you told no one? Not even Lady Margaret?" Emily shakes her head, her hands clenching. "I didn't trust him. He was too curious about her finances." Poirot recalls Emily's role managing Lady Margaret's accounts. Did Trent suspect fraud, or was he blackmailing her? Presses, "During the blackout, where were you?" Emily insists she was at Lady Margaret's side, adjusting her shawl. But Poirot remembers her trembling hands during dinner, her glances at Trent, and the note, he muses, "Why hide it?" Emily's eyes flash. "I didn't want to be blamed." Poirot nods, letting her stew, but he senses she's a pawn, not the queen. Returning to the dining room, Poirot shifts focus to the mysterious woman Tom described, a slender figure in a cloak, with a French accent, who paid him to sabotage the fuse box. Clara Duval, with her Parisian charm, is the obvious suspect, but Poirot distrusts the obvious. He observes her now, her silk gloves smoothing her dress, her bracelet glinting. Could it conceal a diamond? He requests Hughes to re-examine the guests' belongings, focusing on hidden compartments. The constables move swiftly, and Clara's protest, "This is harassment," rings hollow. Her vanity case, opened again, reveals only talcum powder. But Poirot notices her bracelet's clasp is loose, as if recently tampered with. He asks to inspect it, and Clara hesitates before complying. The bracelet is heavy, but empty, no star, no gems. Yet Poirot's suspicion lingers. Her accent, her agility, her motive, all align. Poirot turns to the physical clues, seeking to tighten his net. The blue silk thread on the service door's hinge, matching Lady Margaret's gown, nags at him. He confronts her gently, showing the thread. Madame, how came this here? Lady Margaret gasps, her face paling. I swear I never left my seat. Poirot believes her fear, but wonders if the thread was planted to implicate her. He inspects her gown, finding a small tear at the hem recent, but too high for the hinge. A struggle, perhaps, during the blackout. He recalls her claim of a tug at her neck. Did the thief brush her dress, or did she tear it herself? Staging the theft, her late husband's debts, and the star's insurance make her a suspect. But murder seems beyond her trembling hands. The charred silk in the fireplace, also blue, adds another layer. Hughes confirms it's silk, likely burned to destroy evidence. Blood, perhaps from Trent's wound. Poirot examines the fireplace, finding a trace of ash on the hearth. Not cigar ash, but finer, like burned paper. He sifts through it, uncovering a fragment of a letter, its edge singed. The words, "must be stopped," are legible in a feminine hand. Clara's elegance, or Emily's precision, comes to mind. He pockets the fragment, knowing it's another thread in the web. The bronze nymph statuette, his suspected weapon, remains clean, but its stickiness suggests a wiped surface. He asks Hughes to test it for fingerprints, though he doubts the killer was careless. Poirot's mind returns to Trent's note. Beware the star's shadow, and its possible link to Dr. Moreau's temple story. He pulls Morrow aside, showing the singed fragment. Doctor, does this speak of shadows? Wait. Morrow's eyes widen, his gaunt face twitching. The star's curse demands blood, he mutters, but denies writing anything. Moreau notes his ink stained fingers, the loose vial in his satchel. Did he pen the note or the burned letter? Morrow's obsession with the star's Rajasthan origins, stolen by a British colonel. Its priests vowing vengeance, suggests a motive beyond greed. Did Trent uncover Morrow's plan, making him a target? Poirot lets Morrow return, but his suspicion deepens. Sir Henry's cigar ash, fresh during the blackout, remains a puzzle. Poirot confronts him, holding the charred matchstick from the corridor. Monsieur, your brand, perhaps? Sir Henry scoffs, producing a monogrammed lighter. I don't use matches, but Poirot recalls the matchstick's expense too fine for Tom, but fitting Sir Henry's extravagance. Did he light something in the dark or drop it fleeing the corridor? Sir Henry's debts, confirmed by Scotland Yard, make the star a lifeline. And his seat beside Trent gave him opportunity to strike. Poirot's gentle smile hides his calculations. Greed or desperation? The kitchen maid's testimony about Tom's cloaked woman gnaws at Poirot. He questions her again, a shy girl named Lily, who confirms the woman's French accent and slender frame. She wore gloves, sir, Lily adds, and a veil. Poirot's mind flashes to Clara's silk gloves, but also to Lady Margaret's delicate hands or Emily's practicality. He asks Lily to describe the voice, soft, clipped, or theatrical, like a lady, but cold, Lily says. Clara's stage-honed charm fits, but so might Emily's suppressed anger. Poirot thanks Lily, his mind racing, a disguise or a guest's true face. As evening falls, Poirot orchestrates another gambit. He announces to the guests that the police have found a witness to Trent's murder, a bluff, but it lands like a grenade. Sir Henry pales. Clara's glass trembles. Morrow's book falls shut. Emily, back among them, freezes, her eyes on Lady Margaret. Poirot watches, letting fear work its magic. Then, a scream. Lady Margaret collapses, clutching her chest. Emily rushes to her, but Poirot intercepts, noting Emily's hand slip into her employer's pocket. He seizes her wrist, revealing another note. The star is safe. Leave now. The handwriting matches the singed fragment, and Emily's face crumples. I was protecting her. She cries, but Poirot's eyes narrow. Protecting her, manipulating. The room erupts. Sir Henry shouts. Clara gasps. Morrow mutters. It's Hughes. restrains Emily, but Poirot halts him. "Not yet, Inspector." The mask slips, but the shadow remains. He knows Emily's notes tie her to Trent and the theft, but murder? Her frail frame seems unfit for the blow, and the star's whereabouts elude him. The woman in the cloak, the burned silk, the talcum, the shawl, point to a conspiracy, not a lone act. Poirot stands by the window, the Thames darkening below. "The truth is a mosaic," he murmurs, "and one piece is missing. Is Emily the mastermind or another pawn who struck Trent? Where is the star?" Stay tuned for the next chapter, where Poirot's net traps another and the curse strikes again. Like, subscribe, and drop your theories in the comments. The Savoy Hotel's dining room is a cauldron of fear, its golden chandeliers casting long shadows over a scene of betrayal and death. The Western Star, a diamond necklace cursed by its violent theft from a Rajasthan temple, vanished during a meticulously orchestrated blackout. Mr. James Trent, the jeweler who appraised it, lies dead, his temple crushed by a single precise blow. Hercule Poirot, the Belgian detective whose little gray cells never rest, stands at the heart of the mystery, his sharp green eyes dissecting the suspects. Lady Margaret Ashbourne, Sir Henry Caldwell, Clara Duval, Dr. Elias Morrow, Miss Emily Ward, and the terrified waiter, Tom. Clues weave a tangled web talcum powder. Lavender scent, cigar ash, a blue silk thread, a charred matchstick, a cryptic note, and now 2 damning notes from Emily. One from Trent, summoning her to a midnight meeting, and another, in her own hand, claiming the star is safe. As evening cloaks London in a fading fog, Poirot's trap has shaken Emily, but the killer's mask holds fast. Then a new horror strikes, tightening the noose around the truth. Poirot stands in the dining room, the air thick with suspicion. The guests, confined for hours, are unraveling. Lady Margaret, revived from her collapse, sits pale and trembling, her blue gown crumpled. Sir Henry's scowl deepens, his hands fidgeting with his lighter. Clara Duval's theatrical calm is fraying, her fingers brushing her heavy bracelet. Dr. Elias Morrow clutches his book of curses, his gaunt face etched with unease. Emily, now under Hughes's watchful eye, stares at the floor, her defiance replaced by a haunted look. Tom lingers by the service door. His confession about sabotaging the fuse box for a cloaked woman with a French accent hanging over him like a noose. Poirot's mind churns, piecing together Emily's notes, the burned silk, the talcum smudge, and the mysterious woman. He knows the killer is close, their nerve-cracking, but before he can act, chaos erupts. A piercing scream splits. The silence, coming from the service corridor. The guests freeze, and Poirot, swift, despite his small stature, bolts toward the sound. Hughes and a constable on his heels. The dim passage, they find Lily, the kitchen maid, who saw Tom's cloaked woman, slumped against the wall, her apron stained with blood. She's alive but unconscious, a shallow gash on her forearm. Poirot kneels, his handkerchief pressed to her wound, his eyes scanning the scene. 8. A kitchen knife lies nearby, its blade wet with blood. "Mon Dieu," he murmurs. The shadow strikes again. Hughes calls for a doctor, and Poirot examines the knife. No fingerprints, but a faint trace of talcum powder on the handle. The same powder near Lady Margaret's chair, near Clara's vanity case. A coincidence, or a killer's signature? As Lily is carried to the kitchen for care, Poirot returns to the dining room, his face grim. The guests are in uproar. Sir Henry demands release. Clara accuses Tom. Morrow mutters about curses. Emily, pale as death, shrinks into her chair. Poirot raises a hand, silencing them. Mies Amos, a second crime has been committed. The one who struck Mademoiselle Lily knows we draw near. He watches their reactions. Clara's eyes widen, Morrow's book trembles, Emily's breath catches, announces Lily's survival. A deliberate probe to gauge relief or fear. Tom collapses into a chair, sobbing. "I didn't do it." Poirot believes him. His fear is too raw. The cloaked woman's identity burns in his mind. Clara's French accent or a mimic. Poirot. Shifts focus to Emily's notes, the key to the latest unraveling. The first from Trent, "Meet me at midnight tea," suggests he knew something dangerous, perhaps about the star's authenticity or a guest's secret. The second, in Emily's hand the star is safe. "Leave now," implies she knows. Its location or is protecting someone. Poirot confronts her again in the parlor, Hughes standing guard. "Mademoiselle," he says, his voice soft but unrelenting. "You wrote to protect Lady Margaret? Or to protect yourself?" Emily's eyes flash, but her voice breaks. "I found the note in her pocket after the blackout. I thought she'd taken the star herself to escape her debts." Poirot's eyebrow arches, and Trent, "Did he threaten to expose her?" Emily shakes her head, tears spilling. "I don't know. He was watching her, always asking about the star." Poirot senses truth in her panic, but also omission. Did she kill to silence Trent, or is she shielding her employer? Poirot's mind returns to the new attack. Lily's wound shallow, but deliberate. Suggests a warning, not a murder. Was she targeted for witnessing the cloaked woman, or for something else? He questions the kitchen staff. Learning Lily had been eavesdropping near the dining room before the blackout, her curiosity piqued by the star's fame. Did she overhear a plot? Poirot inspects the corridor again, finding a dropped gloved black silk, scented faintly with lavender. Clara's signature, or another plant? He bags it, noting its small size fitting a woman's hand. But whose? Clara, Emily, or even Lady Margaret? The burned silk in the fireplace, blue like Lady Margaret's gown, nags at Poirot, re-examines. The singed letter fragment must be stopped, and compares it to Emily's note. The handwriting matches, confirming she wrote it, but the context eludes him. Was it a warning to Trent, or someone else? He recalls the blue thread on the service door's hinge, and a new theory forms. The thread in silk may be misdirection, planted to frame Lady Margaret. Her gown's tear, high on the hem, suggests no struggle near the door. Poirot questions her privately, showing the fragment. "Madame, did you write this?" She shakes her head, her fear genuine. "I've written nothing since dinner." She insists. Poirot believes her, but notes her late husband's link to Sir Henry. Their shared history hide a motive. Sir Henry's cigar, ash, and matchstick remained thorns in Poirot's side. He confronts him, holding the matchstick. "Monsieur, you claim no matches, yet this is your brand." Sir Henry's face reddens. "I told you, I use a lighter." Poirot presses, mentioning his debts and proximity to Trent. A desperate man might act swiftly in the dark, he says. Sir Henry slams his fist on the table, but his eyes betray panic. Poirot notes his lighter's monogram. His silky seamed, wonders if it was used to burn the silk, not a match. He asks Hughes to search Sir Henry's room, suspecting hidden evidence. Clara Duval, ever the actress, draws Poirot's scrutiny next. Her lavender-scented glove, her talcum powder, her heavy bracelet, all point to her. He questions her about Lily, and she feigns shock. The poor girl. "I was here, monsieur, with everyone." But Poirot recalls her agility, her Paris theft charge. He tests her, mentioning the glove. "Yours, perhaps." Clara laughs, but her hand brushes her bracelet, its clasp still loose. Poirot requests Hughes to check it for hidden compartments, and Clara's protests is sharp too sharp. No gems are found, but her unease grows. Dr. Morrow's obsession with the star's curse looms large. Poirot shows him the singed fragment, watching his reaction. "The temple's shadow follows us," Morrow mutters, his ink-stained fingers twitching. Poirot asks about his vial of ink, noting its loose cap. "You write to Trent, doctor?" Morrow denies it, but his fervor suggests a man unhinged. His Rajasthan story priests vowing vengeance hints at a deeper motive. Did Trent uncover Morrow's plan to reclaim the star? Poirot's suspicion deepens, but Morrow's frail. Frame seems unfit for violence. As night falls, Poirot orchestrates a final probe. He gathers the guests, announcing Lily's recovery and her claim of recognizing the cloaked woman's voice. Another bluff, but it lands. Clara's glass slips, Morrow's book falls, Emily gasps. Poirot watches, his net tightening. Clatter! Tom drops a tray, his face ashen. He bolts for the service door, but Hughes tackles him. In his pocket, a diamond glints, not the star, but a single stone, likely from its setting. She gave it to me. Tom sobs, pointing at Clara. The room explodes. Clara denies it, her voice shrill, but Poirot's smile is cold. Slips, he murmurs, but the shadow runs. The chapter closes with Poirot by the window, the Thames black below. Emily's notes, Tom's diamond, Clara's glovel, point to a conspiracy, but the killer's hand is hidden. Is Clara the mastermind or a scapegoat? Did Emily act alone or with Lady Margaret? Is Morrow's curse real or a fanatic's ruse? The star is close, but the killer closer. Stay tuned for the next chapter, where Poirot's final trap reveals a shattering truth. Subscribe and share your guesses in the comments. The Savoy Hotel's dining room is a crucible of dread, its opulent chandeliers dimmed by the pall of murder and betrayal. The Western Star, a diamond necklace cursed by its theft from a Rajasthan temple, vanished during a blackout engineered. With chilling precision, Mr. James Trent, the jeweler who appraised it, lies dead, his temple crushed by a calculated blow. A second attack on Lily, the kitchen maid, has left her wounded but alive, a warning from a desperate killer. Hercule Poirot, the Belgian detective with a mind like a diamond's facet, stands at the heart of the storm. His green eyes slicing through the lies of the suspects. Lady Margaret Ashbourne, Sir Henry Caldwell, Clara Duval, Dr. Elias Morrow, Miss Emily Ward, and the terrified waiter. Tom clues pile like scattered gems, talcum powder, lavender scent. Cigar ash, a blue silk thread, a charred matchstick, a singed letter fragment, damning notes from Emily. Tom's confession, clutching a single diamond and pointing at Clara, has ignited chaos. But Poirot knows the truth is a mosaic, and one piece remains hidden. As night deepens over London, he sets his final trap, and the web tightens around the killer. Poirot stands in the dining room. The guests faces a gallery of fear and defiance. Lady Margaret, her blue gown creased, grips her locket, her eyes hollow. Sir Henry's scowl masks panic, his fingers clutching his monogrammed lighter. Clara Duval, accused by Tom, maintains her actress's poise. But her heavy bracelet betrays a nervous twitch. Dr. Elias Morrow's gaunt frame trembles, its book of curses clutched like a shield. Emily Ward, her notes exposed, sits rigid under. Inspector Hughes's gaze, her sharp eyes dulled by dread. Tom, restrained by a constable, weeps, his single diamond likely from the star's setting glinting in the evidence bag. Poirot's little gray cells hum, weaving clues into a pattern. Emily's notes, Clara's glove, Tom's betrayal, and Lily's attack all point to a conspiracy, but the killer's hand is cloaked in shadow. He must act swiftly, before the guilty slip free. Poirot begins by addressing the guests, his voice a velvet blade. Mies Amos, the Western Star is near, and the killer nearer still. A single diamond has been found, but the necklace remains hidden by one among us. He holds up the evidence bag with Tom's diamond, watching Clara flinch, her denial, I gave him nothing, ringing hollow. Poirot's bluff about Lily, recognizing the cloaked woman's voice, still lingers, and he amplifies it. Mademoiselle. Lily will speak soon, he says, and her words will name the shadow. The guests shift, Sir Henry's lighter clicks. Morrow's book trembles. Emily's breath catches. Poirot's trap is psychological. It's designed to break the weakest link. He turns to the physical clues, re-examining their threads. The talcum powder on the knife that wounded Lily matches the smudge near Lady Margaret's chair and Clara's vanity. Case Poirot questions Clara again, producing the lavender-scented silk glove from the corridor. Yours, mademoiselle. Clara laughs, but her eyes dart to her bracelet. Many women wear gloves, monsieur. Poirot notes its small size fitting. Clara, Emily, or even Lady Margaret. He asks Hughes to check Clara's room for matching gloves, suspecting a pair may hide more. The blue silk thread on the service door's hinge matching Lady Margaret's gown remains a puzzle. Poirot inspects her gown again, finding the tier higher than the hinge, impossible for her to have caught it there. A plant, then to frame. Her, or did she tear it in a struggle? The singed letter fragment must be stopped in Emily's hand, and her note, "The star is safe. Leave now," suggests she knew of the theft, perhaps to protect Lady Margaret. Poirot questions her privately, showing the fragment. "Mademoiselle, you wrote this. To whom?" Emily's face crumples. "To Trent," she whispers. "He was asking too many questions about Lady Margaret's finances, the star's value. I feared he'd ruin her." Poirot presses. "And the second note? You found the star?" Emily shakes her head, tears falling. "I lied to protect her. I thought she'd taken it to claim the insurance." Poirot believes her fear, but suspects she knows more. Her loyalty to Lady Margaret is fierce, but is it blind? The charred silk in the fireplace, blue like Lady Margaret's gown, and the burned letter fragment point to destroyed evidence. Poirot sifts the ashes again, finding a tiny metal clasp, melted but recognizably a piece from a necklace's setting. He pockets it, noting its proximity to the singed silk. Did the thief burn the star's setting to hide it, or only a decoy? The bronze nymph statuette, Poirot's suspected weapon, remains clean, but its sticky base suggests a wiped surface. Hughes reports no fingerprints, but Poirot requests a test for blood traces. Knowing a thorough cleaning may have missed microscopic evidence, Tom's diamond, likely from the star, is a breakthrough. Poirot questions him again, his tone gentle, but piercing. "Who gave you this, Tom? Speak true." Tom sobs, his story shifting. "It wasn't her," he mumbles, retracting his accusation against Clara. "It was a woman veiled in the corridor. She said to keep it quiet."
Oh.
Poirot's eyes narrow. The cloaked woman, again Clara's accent, or a mimic? He asks about her voice, soft, clipped, or theatrical.
Magical.
Tom hesitates, like a lady, but angry. Poirot recalls Lily's description, cold, like a lady, and suspects a disguise. He sends Hughes to search the service corridor for more clues, hoping for another glove or veil. Sir Henry's cigar ash and matchstick nag at Poirot. He confronts him, showing the matchstick. "Sir, you deny matches, yet this was found." Sir Henry's face reddens. "I told you, my lighter." Poirot notes the lighter's monogram at C and asks Hughes to check Sir Henry's room for matches. The ash, fresh during the blackout, suggests he lit something cigar or evidence. Sir Henry's debts, and his link to Lord Ashbourne's suspicious death, make him a suspect, but his bluster feels defensive, not cunning. Poirot files this away, turning to Dr. Moreau. Moreau's obsession with the stars, curse stolen from a Rajasthan temple. His priests vowing vengeance looms large. Poirot shows him the metal clasp. "Doctor, is this from the star's sacred setting?" Morrow's eyes blaze, defiled. He hisses, but denies touching it. His ink-stained fingers, loose vial, and angular script, similar to Trent's note, keep him in Poirot's sights. Did he kill to reclaim the star, or is his fanaticism a mask? Poirot asks about the temple's priests, and Morrow's voice drops. "Their descendants live, monsieur." The shadow follows. Poirot's suspicion deepens, but Morrow's frail frame seems unfit for Lily's attack. Clara's role grows murkier. Her lavender glove, talcum powder, and loose bracelet clasp point to her, but Tom's retraction weakens the case. Poirot tests her, mentioning the diamond. "A gift, perhaps, to Tom?" Clara's laugh is sharp. "I bribed no one, monsieur." But her bracelet's weight and her Paris theft charge suggest skill and motive. Poirot requests Hughes to tail her movements, suspecting she may try to flee. Lady Margaret, meanwhile, remains a puzzle. Her gowns tear. The thread in her debts make her a target for framing or a mastermind. Poirot asks about Trent's questions, and she admits he probed her finances. He was assistant, she says, her voice trembling. Did he suspect a fake star or blackmail? As midnight nears, Poirot orchestrates his boldest move.
Else?
He gathers the guests, announcing a reconstruction of the blackout, using Hughes's constables to recreate positions. "We will see," he says. Who moved in the dark, the lights dim, plunging the room into shadow. Poirot listens footsteps, a gasp, a clink. When the lights return, Clara's bracelet lies on the floor, its clasp broken, a second diamond glinting inside. She gasps, denying ownership, but Poirot's smile is cold. The web tightens, he murmurs. Hughes detains her, but Poirot halts. Him. Not yet. The killer watches. The chapter closes with Poirot by the window, the Thames, a silver thread below. Clara's diamond, Emily's notes, Tom's fear, and Lily's wound point to a conspiracy, but the killer's hand is veiled. Is Clara the thief or a pawn? Did Emily act for Lady Margaret or herself? Is Morrow's curse a motive or madness? The star is near, but the shadow nearer. Stay tuned for the next chapter, where Poirot's final gambit unmasks the killer. Like, subscribe, and share your theories in the comments. The Savoy Hotel's dining room is a stage of unraveling secrets, its golden glow dimmed by the weight of murder and deception. The Western Star, a diamond necklace, cursed by its theft from a Rajasthan temple, vanished during a meticulously planned blackout. Mr. James Trent, the jeweler who appraised it, lies dead. His temple crushed by a precise blow, and Lily, the kitchen maid who saw a cloaked woman, was attacked as a warning. Hercule Poirot, the Belgian detective with a mind sharper than a blade, stands at the center of the storm, his green eyes cutting through the lies of the suspects. Lady Margaret Ashbourne, Sir Henry Caldwell, Clara Duval, Dr. Elias Morrow, Miss Emily Ward, and the trembling waiter. Tom. Clues have woven a deadly tapestry: talcum powder, lavender scent, cigar ash, a blue silk thread, a charred matchstick, singed letter fragment, Emily's damning notes, and diamonds found with Tom. And in Clara's broken bracelet, Poirot's staged blackout has exposed Clara's diamond, but the killer's mask holds fast. As midnight cloaks London in shadow, Poirot prepares his final gambit, and the truth begins to emerge from the fog. Poirot stands in the dining room, the guests' faces etched with exhaustion and dread. Lady Margaret, her blue gown crumpled, clutches her locket, her eyes pleading. Sir Henry's scowl masks fear, his monogrammed lighter clicking nervously. Clara Duval, now detained by Inspector Hughes, maintains her actress's poise, but her broken bracelet, revealing a second diamond, betrays her. Dr. Elias Morrow grips his book of curses, his gaunt frame trembling with fervor or guilt. Emily Ward, her notes exposed, sits rigid, her sharp eyes dulled by panic. Tom, restrained by a constable, weeps, his single diamond linking him to the cloaked woman. Poirot's little gray cells churn, sorting the mosaic of clues. Emily's loyalty, Clara's deceit, Morrow's obsession, Sir Henry's desperation, Lady Margaret's debts, and Tom's betrayal. The star is near, but the killer is nearer, and Poirot's final trap will unmask them. He begins by addressing the guests, his voice a calm anchor in the storm. Mes amis, the Western Star, is no mere jewellet, is a magnet for greed, vengeance, and death. Tonight we end this masquerade. He holds up Clara's broken bracelet, the diamond glinting. This stone, like Tom's, is from the star. But who took it? And who struck Mr. Trent and Mademoiselle Lily? He pauses, watching Clara's eyes narrow, Morrow's hands clench, Emily's breath catch, lift. His bluff about Lily identifying the cloaked woman lingers, and he amplifies it. Mademoiselle Lily has spoken. He lies, and her words point to the shadow. The room tenses. Sir Henry's lighter falls silent. Lady Margaret gasps. Clara's smile freezes. Poirot's trap is set, and the guilty are teetering. Poirot revisits the clues, weaving them into a narrative to provoke. The talcum powder on. Lily's knife matches the smudge near Lady Margaret's chair and Clara's vanity case. He produces the lavender-scented silk glove, holding it aloft. This, found in the corridor, smells of Mademoiselle Duval's perfume. Yet others wear gloves. Clara laughs, but her fingers tremble. The blue silk thread on the service door's hinge, matching Lady Margaret's gown, remains a puzzle. Poirot shows her the thread, and she shakes her head. I never moved, monsieur. He notes her gowns tear too high for the hinge, suggesting a plant. The singed silk and letter fragment must be stopped, and Emily's hand point to her. But her note, the star is safe, suggests she protected someone, likely Lady Margaret. The bronze nib statuette, Poirot's suspected weapon, is clean, but Hughes reports a trace of blood under ultraviolet light Trent's, confirmed by type. The statuette's sticky base, wiped with a cloth, aligns with the burned silk in the fireplace. Poirot produces the melted clasp from the ashes, likely from the star's setting. Someone dismantled the necklace, he says, to hide a tour. Sell it stones. He watches Tom, who shrinks, and Clara, whose composure cracks. The charred matchstick, a brand Sir Henry denies, nags at Poirot. He confronts him, showing the matchstick and lighter. You burned something evidence, perhaps? Sir Henry roars, I'm no arsonist. But his panic betrays him. Poirot turns to Emily's notes, the heart of the web. Her claim that Trent's note, meet me at midnight, T, was about Lady Margaret's finances rings true. But her second note, the star is safe, suggests she found it, or lied to protect her employer. Poirot questions her again, his tone gentle but piercing. Mademoiselle, you wrote to stop Trent. Why? Emily's voice breaks. He was blackmailing Lady Margaret about her husband's debts, the star's value. I warned him to stop, but I didn't kill him. Poirot believes her fear, but senses omission. Did she steal the star to save Lady Margaret, or frame her? The cloaked woman, described by Tom and Lily, is the key. Tom's retraction denying Clara gave him the diamond points to another. Poirot questions Lily, now bandaged and coherent, in the kitchen. Her voice, Lily whispers, was cold, but not like Mademoiselle Duval's. Sharper, like a servant's. Poirot's mind flashes to Emily, her clipped tone, her loyalty masking resentment. He recalls her notebook filled with numbers and requests Hughes to examine it. The constable returns with a shock. The notebook lists payments. 2. Reggie Cox, Tom's bookmaker, in Emily's hand. Did she pay Tom to sabotage the fuse, posing as the cloaked woman? Poirot orchestrates his final gambit, gathering the guests for a revelation. The star was never meant to leave this room, he declares. The thief dismantled it, hiding its stones among us. He produces Tom's diamond and Clara's, then gestures to Emily. Mademoiselle Ward wrote to protect Lady Margaret, but you acted to destroy her. Emily gasps, her face crumpling. No, I took the star to save her, to pay her debts. She confesses to slipping the necklace into her sleeve during the blackout, using her proximity to Lady Margaret. But Trent's death? I didn't kill him, she cries. Poirot nods, believing her. The statuette's blow required strength she lacks. He turns to Clara, her bracelet's diamond damning. Mademoiselle Duval, you received a stone how? Clara's mask slips, her voice shrill. It was slipped into my bracelet during the blackout, I swear. Rose's eyes shift to Morrow, whose fervor has quieted. Doctor, your temple's shadow is at you. Morrow shakes his head, muttering, the curse acts through others. Poirot's gaze lands on Sir Henry, whose lighter clicks again. Monsieur Caldwell, your ash, your matchstick, your debts? Did you strike to save yourself? Sir Henry pales, stammering, I'm no killer. Then, a clatter. Lady Margaret's locket falls, springing open to reveal a third diamond. The room gasps, and Poirot pounces. Madame, you hit a stone, but not the murder, Lady Margaret sobs. Found it in my pocket after the blackout? I thought, Emily? Poirot's mind clicks. Emily stole the star, dismantling it. But someone else struck Trent and Lily. He recalls the statuette's weight, Sir Henry's proximity, his strength. Monsieur Caldwell, Poirot says, you saw Emily take the exprint star. You struck Trent to silence him, for he knew your debts tied you to Lord Ashbourne's death. Sir Henry collapses, confessing he was going to expose me. I didn't mean to kill him, just to stop him. The room erupts. Clara screams. Morrow mutters. Emily weeps. Hughes cuffs Sir Henry, but Poirot raises a hand. The star stones. are found, but the necklace's frame remains. And Mademoiselle Lily's attacker. He pauses, knowing Emily's payments to Cox link her to the cloaked woman. The web is tight, but one shadow lingers. The chapter closes with Poirot by the window, the Thames, a dark mirror. The truth is here, he murmurs, but the curse laughs last. Is Sir Henry the soul killer? Where's the star's frame? Stay tuned for the final chapter, where Poirot unveils the full truth. Like, subscribe, and drop your theories in the comments. The Savoy Hotel's dining room is a stage for the final act of a deadly drama. Chandeliers casting a pale glow over a scene of shattered facades and exposed truths. The Western Star, a diamond necklace cursed by its theft from Rajasthan. Temple vanished during a blackout engineered with ruthless precision. Mr. James Trent. The jeweler who appraised it lies dead, his temple crushed by a blow from the bronze nymph statuette. Lily, the kitchen maid, who glimpsed a cloaked woman, survived a knife attack meant to silence her. Hercule Poirot, the Belgian detective whose little gray cells have unraveled countless mysteries, stands at the heart of the chaos, his green eyes pinning the suspects. Lady Margaret Ashbourne. Sir Henry Caldwell, Clara Duval, Dr. Elias Morrow, Miss Emily Ward, and the broken waiter. Tom. Clues have woven a deadly tapestry talcum powder, lavender scent, cigar ash, a blue silk thread, a charred matchstick, a singed letter fragment, Emily's notes, and diamonds found with Tom, Clara, and Lady Margaret. Sir Henry's confession to Trent's murder has cracked the case. But the star's frame and Lily's attacker remain elusive. As dawn breaks over London, Poirot unveils the full truth, and the curse's shadow is banished at last. Poirot gathers the guests in the dining room, their faces a gallery of exhaustion, fear, and resignation. Lady Margaret, her blue gown tattered, clutches her locket, now empty of its damning diamond. Sir Henry, handcuffed by Inspector Hughes, slumps in his chair, his bluster gone. Clara Duval, her bracelet's diamond exposed, maintains a fragile poise, her lavender scent fading. Dr. Elias Morrow grips his book of curses, his gaunt eyes flickering with defeat. Lee Ward, her notes revealing her theft of the star, sits rigid, her loyalty to Lady Margaret shattered. Tom, restrained by a constable, stares at the floor, his role as a pawn in the cloaked woman's scheme laid bare. The air is heavy, the fog outside lifting, to reveal a pale Thames. Poirot steps forward, his voice a beacon of clarity. Mes amis, the Western Star has drawn blood, but its curse is no god's. Wrath it is human greed, human vengeance. Poirot reveals all. He begins with the crime's heart, the theft of the Western Star. Mademoiselle Ward, he says, turning to Emily, you stole the necklace, we? Emily nods, tears streaming. I took it during the blackout, to save Lady Margaret from her debts. I slipped it into my sleeve, planning to sell its stones. Poirot nods, holding up the diamonds from Tom, Clara, and Lady Margaret. Dismantled the star, hiding its stones among the guests to confuse us. But you did not kill. Emily sobs. I swear it. Poirot believes her frail frame lacks the strength to wield the statuette, and her notes the star is safe and must be stopped were pleased to protect, not destroy. He turns to Sir Henry, whose confession to Trent's murder hangs heavy. Monsieur Caldwell, you struck Mr. Trent with the statuette, fearing he would expose your role in Lord Ashbourne's death. Sir Henry's head bows. He knew too much about the rifle, the accident. I panicked in the dark. Poirot nods, recalling the statuette's blood trace and sticky base, wiped clean but damning. The cigar ash on Sir Henry's cuff, fresh. During the blackout, came from a cigar he lit to steady his nerves after the blow. The charred matchstick, a brand he denied, was dropped in the corridor as he fled to check the fuse box, ensuring the blackout held. But Poirot adds, you did not steal the star, nor attack Mademoiselle Lily, the cloaked woman, described by Tom and Lily, is the final knot. Poirot produces the lavender-scented silk glove, holding it aloft. This glove, found in the corridor, smells of Mademoiselle Duval's perfume, yet it is not hers. Clara gasps, her poise cracking. Told you, monsieur, I'm no thief. Poirot smiles, turning to Emily. Mademoiselle Ward, you wore this glove, oui? To mimic Mademoiselle Duval, to frame her. Emily's eyes widen, but she remains silent. Poirot explains. Emily, knowing Clara's lavender scent, used her perfume to plant the glove, linking Clara to the fuse box sabotage. The talcum powder on the knife and near Lady Margaret's chair came from Emily's modest kit, not Clara's vanity case, used to steady her hands during the theft. But Lily's attack? Poirot's gaze shifts to Dr. Elias Morrow, whose silence has grown ominous. Doctor, your temple's curse drove you, did it not? Morrow's eyes blaze, his voice low. The star defiled sacred ground. Its blood price was due. Poirot reveals the truth. Morrow, obsessed with the Rajasthan temple's vengeance, saw Trent's appraisal as a desecration. When Emily stole the star, Morrow seized the moment, attacking Lily in the corridor to silence her witness to the cloaked woman Emily, whom he mistook for a thief profaning his cause. The knife's talcum powder, from Emily's glove, was transferred during Morrow's struggle with Lily, his ink-stained fingers, loose vial and angular script, similar to Trent's note. Beware the star's shadow reveal, he wrote it. A warning to Trent to abandon the star. Poirot turns to the blue silk thread and burned silk, both matching Lady Margaret's gown. These, he says, were planted by Mademoiselle Ward to confuse us, torn from Madame's gown during the blackout. Lady Margaret gasps, her locket trembling. I knew nothing. Poirot nods, believing her. Her debts and Trent's probing made her a target for Emily's frame, but her fear was genuine. The singed letter fragment must be stopped, was Emily's plea to Trent, burned to hide her intent. Melted clasp in the fireplace was from the star's setting, destroyed by Emily to conceal the theft. The star's frame, Poirot reveals, is hidden in plain sight. He approaches the dining room's chandelier, its crystals glinting like the star's diamonds. With Hughes's help, he lowers it, revealing a delicate silver frame nestled among the crystals, its diamonds removed. Mademoiselle Ward hid it. Here, he says, knowing we would not look up. Emily collapses, her confession complete. Tom, a pawn paid by Emily posing as the cloaked woman, sabotaged the fuse box for her scheme, receiving a diamond as payment. Clara's diamond was slipped into her bracelet by Emily during the blackout, another frame. Lady Margaret's diamond, found in her locket, was planted by Emily to ensure her employer's guilt if needed. Poirot steps back, his mustache twitching. The curse was no spirit. It was greed, fear, and vengeance. Mademoiselle Ward stole. For loyalty, Monsieur Caldwell killed for secrets. Dr. Moreau struck for fanaticism. Hughes cuffs Emily and Morrow, Sir Henry already detained. Clara, exonerated, weeps with relief. Lady Margaret, trembling, thanks Poirot. Her locket empty, but her heart lighter. Tom, a tool of circumstance, faces lesser charges. The stars, frame now in Hughes's hands, will return to its owner. Its curse broken by truth. As dawn gilds the Thames, Poirot stands by the window, the city stirring below. The little gray cells, he murmurs, see through shadows. The guests, now freed, disperse. Clara to her stage, Lady Margaret to her debts, Morrow to his cell, Emily to her fate. Sir Henry's confession closes Trent's murder, and Lily's recovery seals her safety. The Western Star, its stones and frame recovered, is no longer a lure for blood. Poirot turns, his work done, the fog lifted. The truth, he says, is the only light. The chapter closes with a call to action. What did you think of Poirot's quest? Was the curse real or only human darkness? Hit that like button. Subscribe for more mysteries, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Stay tuned for our next tale, where shadows hide new secrets. Thank you for joining us in the Western Star slaying, Poirot's question. Till next time, keep your little gray cells sharp.